According to my research, Lady Justice is most often depicted with a set of scales typically suspended from her right hand, upon which she measures the strength of a case and supports the opposition. She's also often seen carrying a double-edged sword in her left hand, symbolizing the power of reason and justice, which may be wielded either for or against the party. This is on the north wall of the courtroom, of course, on the third floor of the LaPorte County Circuit Courthouse. And you'll also notice the beautiful woodwork. Of course, wood was quite prevalent in our county. Majority of our county early on was forested, so there was plenty of wood of all kinds to acquire to do things like this. And although I've never seen or found anything where they talked about cutting down trees in our county for this purpose, I would have to believe that some of this wood in here may have been actually LaPorte County wood. And as you can see, it's spectacular. 1971, Judge Alvin Smith initiated the remodeling of this courtroom, and he described it as one which now that you can see and hear, and one that is neither stifling in the summer or freezing in the winter, as it had been previously. Almost all of the offices or rooms in the courthouse were heated with fireplaces. And of course, you know, with a fireplace, you don't get much heat around the room. It's only in front of the fireplace where the heat is. And there were many times when they had to close the courthouse because the weather was prohibitive for people to even be in here. It was so cold. And back in the early days, we had some really bad winters as opposed to the winters we've been having recently. Sometimes it was below zero for many, many days in a row, and it wasn't conducive to holding court in a room where you had just nothing but a fireplace. But also the stained glass windows in here and in all the different rooms in the courthouse are spectacular. Many of them, there were 82 of them covered that we knew of it when they did a restoration earlier, and they were uncovered in 2006. And they'd been covered over during an earlier restoration project. So you can see now the beauty of them. I have no idea why they decided to cover them, except that it just wasn't fitting with the restoration job that they were doing at that time. And since he's been uncovered, during the Christmas holidays, they put lights in the windows, and the people driving by then can enjoy them also. You don't have to come in the courthouse to look at them. You can see them as you drive by. I don't think very many people probably have not even visited this courtroom, except for those who have had to, even though it's been advertised, I guess you would say, as being one of the most beautiful courtrooms in the state of Indiana. A lot of people don't know that until they get on a tour and somebody tells it to them. But if you have an opportunity, yes, take advantage and come inside and see what it's like in here. It's a lot different than it was when it started. This building was built in 1892, and inside and outside, both parts are unique in some ways. I don't think there's any other courthouse in the state of Indiana that's made of red sandstone. A lot of them are limestone from the state of Indiana, but this is red sandstone that was shipped into Michigan City and then brought by rail here to LaPorte and brought to the courthouse yard, where it was cut and made into the proper size pieces to construct the building. If it was in your neighborhood, I suppose you had an interest in knowing about what was going to happen to the people. Maybe you knew them and you wanted to see what actually was going to happen, or maybe some of your family was involved with the case. And I know that it's said that a lot of people just came because of curiosity, and came day after day. If the trial was any length, they just came back each day in order to witness what happened at the end. So I guess that, well, we didn't have TV, we didn't have all the things back in those days, so everybody had to find their own entertainment. I guess that was a lot of people's entertainment. But they came from not just LaPorte, but they would come in from the county. They'd travel with horse and buggy and come to be sure not miss out on something that was going on in the court. So it was, I guess, the event of their lifetime maybe for some of them.